We welcome you back to the program. You know, so much these days being discussed about the housing situation, the housing market, the price of homes, who's in arrears, who's foreclosed, and all that. It certainly must be an interesting time to be in that business. And our next guest is, in fact, in that business. He's a mortgage banker with over 30 years of experience. Bryon Pyle is his name. And Bryon, welcome to the show. Good to have you with us.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks for having me.
Fellow graduate of Cal State Fullerton, so that puts you in good stead with at least half of our staff here at Channel 6. Good to have you on the program today. Well, obviously, this has to have been an interesting few years to be in the housing, anything related to the housing field. It has to have been, shall we say, challenging.
It certainly has been, yeah.
Right.
It's been a very interesting year. We all know home values have dropped a little bit, and that's kind of disappointing. But we see clear skies on the horizon.
All right.
Things are clearing up.
That's good. Well, specifically talking about our residents here in Laguna Woods Village, what are some of the services you provide here specifically that might be of interest to our folks?
We're a full mortgage banker, so we provide purchase financing for mortgages or for homes, refinances, and reverse mortgages. And reverses are probably one of the least understood areas.
You know, that's something we have heard a bit about. I've heard that term used. Can you explain briefly how it works so that I'll understand it?
Sure. In its simplest form, a reverse mortgage, if you had a mortgage now, basically your lender would say, you don't have to make a mortgage payment this month. Make it whenever you want. Mm-hmm. We won't charge any late fee. We won't charge any penalty. We won't mark your credit. Simply pay whenever you want.
Yep.
Then
That'd be nice.
Then you might say, well, great. How about if I pay when I pass away? And they say that's perfectly fine. That's the simplest form. Mm-hmm. That's basically what a reverse mortgage is.
So it's a way that a person could stop making house payments, sounds like.
Absolutely. And it makes a tremendous improvement in their cash flow because they have that much more money left in their pocket to spend on whatever they really want to spend their money on.
Right. Well, obviously, for most of us, our home's our most expensive possession and our most expensive monthly bill, probably, if we're still making payments on it. But some of the homes here in Laguna Woods Village are paid for. A lot of folks here maybe moved when the housing boom was at its height. They sold a home somewhere else, made a good deal of cash with it, came here and paid cash for their home in Laguna Woods Village.
Sure.
Is this something that would work for them as well?
Sure it is. A home that's free and clear can still get a reverse mortgage. Then they can take a monthly distribution and receive money each and every month from that home, or take a lump sum and have an extra large cash cushion.
Okay. So somebody would actually be able to get money out of their house and still live in it.
Absolutely.
We think of having to sell the house to get the money out of it.
Right. And when we help clients, we find that most of them have a certain amount of liquid cash, but they have a tremendous amount of cash stuck in their home. So they're out of balance.
What do they call it, house rich?
House rich, cash poor, yes.
Cash poor, right.
Yes.
So if somebody's got a home here that's worth $2,000, $3,000, $400,000, they might be able to get not all of that out of it, but a percentage out of it.
Yeah, a very significant portion out of it. And that helps for things like health care, prescriptions, day-to-day living.
Sure.
Heck, enjoying your life, vacations.
Someone wanted to buy the dream car, take that big vacation,
Sure.
help a student, help a family member, maybe start a business, all
Sure.
kinds of things. The money's, I guess, kind of theirs to do what they want, really.
The money is theirs to do what they want, and it's tax-free. It's not taxable, so it goes a long way.
Let's say a husband and wife live in the home here in Laguna Woods Village. They come to you, do whatever is required, and we'll talk about that in a minute, get a reverse mortgage, and say one of them passes away. Is the other one going to get kicked out of the house?
Not at all. The program's got very specific safeguards. One of those safeguards is that program is in place until the last one should pass away or stop living in the home.
Okay, or stop living in the home. So say one passes away, second person's still living in the home, they decide to move in with family members, move to a different type of facility, move out of the home. They don't sell it as such. It reverts back to the lender at that point?
No, not at all. They still own that home. That's a very important topic, and I think one that's misunderstood by a lot of the residents. They still own that home. They always own that home. But if they move out of that home and no longer live there, then the loan is simply due. So at that time, they can either refinance, get a regular mortgage, or sell the home, pay off the mortgage, take the proceeds for themselves, or give it to one of their children or heirs.
So if they want to pass it on to a family member, they could in turn, if they wanted to, refinance it.
Absolutely.
Which would be a lot less money probably than was in the first place, in the original, so they would probably get a pretty good deal on that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sounds good. And again, you could help them with that as well.
Absolutely, yeah, we do both sides.
Right,
Sure.
very good. You have a booklet you wanted to just take a look at here. Let me just grab one
Sure.
here so I can show it on camera. It's called Smart, Safe, Secure Reverse Mortgage. This maybe answers some of the questions that people would have.
It really does. We found that the most important thing is just information. People, they're hungry for information. There's been a lot of misinformation about this program. They really want to understand it. So we've developed this free guide and workbook, giving them all the facts and figures so that they can understand it. And most importantly, it's got a workbook section so they can put down their particular information and discover how they look today, how they might look after they had a reverse mortgage, as well as if they're married, what would happen if one of them were to pass away today, what cash they'd have to live on, as well as the cash they'd have to live on if one of them passed away and they had a reverse mortgage.
Right.
Very valuable.
As you know, we have various types of homes here in Laguna Woods Village. Is there differences in qualifying for a reverse mortgage if you live, say, in a small apartment in the Towers, if you live in a condominium in Third Mutual or a co-op in United? Are there differences?
Well, there's a couple important differences. First, generically on the program, we're not looking at your credit score or your income. It's purely age related. So you are going to qualify based on your age.
Okay.
Number one.
What is the age qualification?
You have to be the youngest member in the house or on title has to be 62 or older.
Okay.
Now, we have got a very, very unusual factor going on right now, and we have a high temporary limit. FHA, this is a federally insured program, and FHA sets a lending limit, or they set a limit on the property value. So they're currently only looking at the first certain amount of home value. It used to be 400, now it's all the way up to 625, 500. Part of the stimulus bill is we got that.
Right.
But it's a temporary limit, so it expires at the end of this year.
Right.
So very valuable this year.
All right.
But you touched on something else. You touched on co-ops. There's a lot of co-ops here.
Yes.
They have promised to do co-ops, and they've been working on the details and technicalities for a year. It's not quite finished yet, but we have it under good authority that they're going to open it up probably in 30 to 60 days.
Real briefly, in the time we have remaining, if somebody does have a co-op, should they start the process now or should they wait?
No, I think they should start the process now. There's good reason for that. They can reduce the fee, save a little bit money on fees, and importantly, if they've been waiting for this and they want to get in on it, we can get them in at the front of the line so they can go through quickly.
And again, by taking advantage now, they might be able to get the more amount of money, as this program won't stay around forever probably.
The program will probably be around forever, but certainly this high temporary limit that we enjoy right now, that's going to expire at the end of this year. So definitely, yeah, you'd want to get on it.
Might want to start now. The number on your screen, give them a call, get yourself one of these booklets, check it out, and this is a good way to get really answers to your questions.
And it's free information.
Excellent, that's great. We appreciate that, you coming by today and explaining to us. Reverse mortgage might be something that works for you and your family. Check it out, give them a call, and maybe Bryon can give you a hand taking care of all the wherefores and why-ases and filling out the paperwork on that as well. Thanks for coming by today. Good to have you on the program.
Thanks, Rob.
We'll be right back with more as we continue on for today's show. Stay with us.
Would you like more money each month? Bryon Pyle, president of HomeSafe, your reverse mortgage experts. Most people have the majority of their wealth stuck inside their home, with little, if anything, in their wallet. If you're a homeowner, 62 and over, a federally insured reverse mortgage may be the perfect solution for you. Call now for your free report to learn the new facts and how you can easily and safely improve your cash flow while still retaining full title to your home, condo, or co-op.